Often imitated, never duplicated. The one and only B. Scott. You're listening to The B. Scott Show. Get ready, love muffins. I know that's right. Often imitated, never duplicated. That's so true.
Yes, it is.
The one and only B. Scott. And we're back doing The B. Scott Show. We said it in unison like we often
always.
do. So yeah, our birthdays. What? Meanwhile, it's been a while. It's been our birthdays happen. What did you do for your birthday? Our birthday. My birthday.
I didn't do much.
It's actually my birthday.
Okay.
And your birthday just so happened to, like, you were born on my day. So yeah, it did.
It did.
Yes. Put some respect on my name.
I did. Age before beauty. Huh?
Oh.
But no, it was very low key. I went to dinner at Delilah in West Hollywood, and then I went bowling. I found this really dope bowling alley. It's called Highland Park Bowl. Mm-hmm. And it's like a 1930s restored bowling alley. So everything's vintage. They played like 90s R&B. They had craft cocktails. It was a very, very peaceful, calm experience. And I really liked it.
That's nice.
And then my best friend, her birthday is Friday. So then we went to Zen Lounge, which I don't even know if I want to get into that because Tisha Campbell got on that stage for about 45 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
And I don't...
What did she do for 45 minutes?
She sang...
I'm still here.
No, and I missed that one.
You missed that song?
That's the only one I really wanted to see. But she had like a Rihanna set and a Beyonce set.
So the Zen Lounge was not a part of the bankruptcy she was going through?
So in the documents it was, but then somehow it closed for a bit from what I gathered.
And it came back.
Opened under new management, and now she's a headliner every Friday night.
Oh my God.
And I had not laughed so hard. And I thank God that they fucked up the reservation, so we had like a table around the fire pit in the back. Mm-hmm. So they only had her vocals on the speakers. So we could only really hear what was going down. Mm-hmm. And I had tears streaming down my face.
It sounded that bad?
Yeah.
It was bad?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I guess, when you can't book a stage, you build your own. That way you can go every Friday and sing to the people who want to hear you. I'm just not in that crowd.
Is that the same place as like right off Coanga?
It's literally like under the highway.
Under the highway. Like literally you could lose your life trying to get to it.
Yeah.
Those cars, I forgot what friend. One of my friends was doing some type of awareness event, fundraiser moment.
That's how I ended up there for the first time. It was like a fundraiser type thing.
And I was like, I know that I'm going to go, give some money for this fundraiser, but I don't want to lose my life trying to get across this highway because literally those cars are going like 70, 80.
Yeah.
And there's no crosswalk.
No.
So you literally got to run across the highway to get to this moment.
Yeah, it was an experience. And then, so three of us, we got the same drink. It was like a cucumber something. Two of them came. They were pink. The third one was green. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, this is supposed to be the same drink across the board. Why is this one a different color?
Okay.
Our waitress was like, well, it's the napkin, which was sitting right next to the drink. She was like, it's the napkin. So I picked them up, and I was like, no, it's definitely not the napkin. And she was like, oh, well, they're the same drink. So and then she just walked away.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah, so I won't be back to Zen Lounge ever in life.
I did kind of make that, when I went to the fundraiser that I went to, I did kind of make that realization as well.
So
I was like, have you ever been to somewhere and you're like, how did I get here?
Did I end up here?
Yeah, what did I do wrong
and that's
to end
what
up
it was.
here?
And had it not been for my best friend's birthday, there's no way.
I believe in supporting the people, our people, but when you support them and the shit is not what it needs to be, I can't support you.
And I should have known it was a red flag the first time I went, and I was at the bar, and every drink has a 18% gratuity added as a line item on the bill.
Oh, wow.
So I got like a $10 drink, and the total was like 13 something, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I'm looking, and I see like drink, $10.99 or $10. Tip, $1.38. And I was just kind of like, wow, they have to do that. That's crazy.
That's very indicative of the clientele.
People.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So
ooh.
I don't need to be.
Ooh. I feel like you've been up to some other things too. I feel like you've been up to... No, I think that, you've been... I got a bone to pick with you.
What'd I do?
I feel like you've been secretly dropping beats.
I
feel
I did spend a good portion of the week.
I mean, I called you. I called him one day. And I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then I heard some girls like, I think that needs to drop the bass down low. shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy. It's like something she was singing. I was like, wait a minute. Where are you at?
I was
multitasking in the studio, doing posts.
I had my computer up. I was, getting to it. But yeah, it's been going pretty well.
Okay.
I'm going to drop something soon.
So we're going to have you're the new producer to watch?
Maybe.
So now I got to tell you what happened to me.
So yeah, tell me about Miami.
Help us, Lori.
Because it looked incredible. I saw those snaps and those drinks and that food.
The W Hotel always takes care of me. When I go to Miami, I stay at the W South Beach, and I always have a great time there. And so everything was going great, very festive, very laid back, no agenda.
About a boy.
It's not about a boy. It's about something a boy gave me, not an STD.
Oh, I was like, are you okay?
No. So, I have, I just feel like I have different situations, different pieces in different areas. I got hoes in different area codes. And so one of the guys, my Dominican in Miami, he bakes weed brownies and weed cookies.
Okay.
And so for my birthday, he gave me a weed cookie.
Okay.
And I had never done edibles before.
Really?
Never. No.
Okay.
I take it back. Let me take it back. I have taken a weed mint.
Okay.
But in California, they can tell you how much THC. THC? Okay. Is in each piece.
Right.
So whatever the case is, my birthday comes March 21st. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm about to go lay out on the beach, the gay beach with the gays. Yes! And I'm going to take a piece of this weed brownie.
Now he bakes them in his kitchen?
He makes them. He literally bakes them like a chef. And I was like, me and my friend that was there, I was like, okay, let's have a piece of this, right? So we both have a little piece. Like a quarter of it. So it's like we break it up into fours and we both have a piece.
Oh, God.
So I'm thinking, okay, I don't feel nothing yet. So I'm going to take another piece of it.
Oh, shit.
And break it up and put it in my parfait.
Not the parfait.
The parfait was lit. So it took me about 15, 20 minutes to get from the W South Beach to where we were setting up the beach on the the bed on the beach. Like, you get a bed, the cabana thing moment. And when I tell you,
oh God,
I went to the sunken place and I couldn't get out. I literally was in the sunken place for 3 hours.
So what is it like? What did it look like? Like, what were you doing?
I did nothing. I was a mute.
Oh.
So evidently my friend was saying that the guy who set up our bed was horrible. Like, he took forever. He didn't have towels. He didn't set up the cabana right. It was about to blow away. And I said nothing.
Oh, that's not like you.
He's right. He's like, something must be wrong with B. Like, B said nothing. Like, I wanted to say things, but I physically couldn't say them.
Oh, God.
And I was so afraid that, if I went to sleep, a part of me wanted to just go to sleep. And then I was like, if I go to sleep, I feel like I will never wake up. Like, I would be like, oh my God, I could be trapped. I could die. And then, so I looked up on my phone. I did get enough energy to look up on my phone.
That was me.
And the phone, and on the internet, it said, I looked up this website and it said, don't worry, you're not going to die. No one has ever died from weed poisoning. You just have to wait it out. So literally, on my birthday, I was a mute. In the sunken place. Like, literally, I now know what it feels to be in the sunken place because I couldn't say anything. Like, nothing. I didn't want to get in the ocean.
I bet your friends had fun.
My friend was just sitting there he was kind of worried about what was happening with me.
Yeah.
Oh, we had fun because I didn't say shit. You are a bitch ass. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna have to, you're gonna make me come over there. So, that's what I did. And then at some point, it started to fade. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Like, my right mind is coming back. I had doubts that I would ever be whole again.
Yeah.
It was that scary. I was paranoid. I was like, this is not right. This is not of the Lord. This is not what.
Yeah, I had a bad
This is not my ministry.
Once. Like,
I don't know. I don't think it was a bad edible. I think it was just that.
No, I say it was a bad trip. It was a bad experience.
Yeah.
Like, I went to bed. I thought, I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to sleep. It's going to be great. I woke up at 2 a.m. Heart from what I thought was stopped. Right. I I'm freaking out. I go to try to take a shower. Sharon's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. You need to call 911. Like, I'm seriously trying to get him to call 911. And I'm freaked out, so I go and I'm trying to feel my pulse in different places, and I can't feel it, so I go and get my Apple Watch and put it on because it has the heart rate thing. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still alive. And eventually it just wore off.
Yeah.
But it was scary.
It was not, it's not something
fun.
It's not something I ever want to do again. That was a one night, a one day only type of moment. And I promised myself if I ever get through it, I would never do it again. I took the rest of that damn brownie cookie and threw it right down the garbage disposal.
And there are people who eat those every day.
All the day. Every day. I can't, I don't want to go back to the sunken place.
Oh, I did have edible goldfish that were really good. You know, like the goldfish crackers.
After you had the bad trip?
I've had those, yeah. And I've had gummies.
You didn't learn your lesson.
I'm sorry?
You didn't learn your lesson.
No, but here's the thing. Like in California, you know, everything's very regulated, and it's like it tells you exactly how much to eat, what to take. You know, it's very controlled. You're the one eating pop brownies out of somebody's kitchen.
Right.
Who, you know.
Look, don't, look.
So don't come
look. And then I was hungry as hell.
Oh, God.
When I tell you I went to Palace and ate everything, they had a jambalaya, ate the jambalaya.
Oh, my God.
They had a pasta, ate the pasta. What else? They had chicken wings. It was literally like I had a buffet at Palace, and Love Muffins were there and stuff. Like, I was so focused on...
you didn't see any pictures show up on social media.
There might be. It might be some pictures.
Look.
But I was not concerned. I was unbothered. I was completely focused on that food.
Happy to be alive.
Yes, happy to be alive. I tore the food up and hit it back to the hotel.
So it didn't like, go out or anything? Or?
No, that set the tone for the whole day. That kind of just like, after I recovered from that, I ate all that food at Palace. I went back to the hotel, went to sleep, woke up. I think I watched a movie and went back to sleep.
Gotcha.
That's how I spent my birthday, because that it was like my body felt so depleted after I had mentally struggled to come back to sanity. It was shocking. It was like, so for those of you Love Muffins out there that are thinking about doing edibles, please just take a small portion of it, or get some that states on the package how much is in there. Like, because it's like, I would hate for you to go to the sunken place and going to the sunken place when you don't want to be in the sunken place is a problem. Some people do edibles and smoke and get high because they want to be in that place. I am a person that, like, I don't like to not be in control.
Right.
I don't like anything to alter my consciousness. Like, because honestly, during that time I was in the sunken place, somebody could have got my goodies.
Oh, God.
Somebody could have rolled me over and just took my goodies. No, but that's not good. I don't want my goodies to be taken out the cookie jar.
Lie.
I want my goodies to be taken by the right person, not by some stranger. Okay. Danger, stranger.
Stranger, danger.
Danger, stranger, stranger, danger, whatever.
Oh, my God.
And then in addition to this, I was going to say that made me think of there was a video of this guy chasing down behind this girl. There's actually a couple of different videos showing adult men
snatching up little
girls.
Yeah, the world has gone
from
mad.
Elementary on up to high school.
18.
They're following them and taking them.
I know the one that we ran on the site. I sent my sister a link because she's 20, or she'll be 20. Yeah, she'll be 20 in May. Mm-hmm. So I sent her a link. I'm like, hey, just so you're aware, all this shit is going on. Be alert. Be vigilant. Because it's scary.
Don't get snatched up.
Like, it's scary.
It is scary. And then in D.C., it's something like, how many girls have gone missing?
A lot. There's been like an uptick, so they say. Well, here's the thing. Like, the social media is saying that there's an increase of all these girls being taken. But the cops are saying, like, actually, it's on par with the regular numbers. Okay. So there's been like a discourse in
But before we get on these girls, did they ever find the girls in Africa?
Don't know.
You know, the ones that Michelle Obama was saying, like, bring back
our girls.
Did we ever get those girls? Because now we're on to new girls.
I think so. That's the thing with, like, these social media crises. It's like, everybody gets worked up for a good week or two, and then something else happens, and then it just kind of falls by the wayside.
And then there's 20 million people. Is it 20 million in Africa that are now experiencing famine, or about to experience famine in Yemen and Somalia, and it's like 4 different countries.
I know it's a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's so hard for me to, like, I don't know which, I feel so overwhelmed a lot by the news. I don't know which story
deserves the most attention.
Deserves the most attention, or what can I do to help when girls go missing in Africa or girls go missing in DC or, millions of people.
Girls go missing down the street.
Girls go missing down the street or millions of people in 4 countries in Africa that are experiencing famine. I'm like, I feel like with these stories, I wish there were more of like, okay, this is the problem, but this is a solution. This is where you call. This is where you can donate. I need to know what to do with once you slap me upside the head with this information or you make me aware of what's going on and I'm outraged and I'm hurting for these people. How do I help?
And, and I think that, the only thing that we can really do, as in you and I, is just, again, bring awareness or use a platform, put the stories out there, and let hopefully the people who are in the positions to do what they can do are able to do it.
Yeah.
It's just too much. You'll drive yourself crazy.
I just feel like a lot of people must be going through that. In today's political climate and just in general with all this stuff that's being thrown at us in social media, it's just you can feel overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. I feel overwhelmed by all the stuff that's going on in the world. And then in addition to that, I was thinking on the way over here today, it takes so much just to make it through the day. It takes so much just to do all the things I need to do for B. Scott.
Right.
Like going to the gym and eating right. And, like today I was dealing with taxes because, I don't want no story about B. Scott done got arrested for taxes.
Tax fraud, tax evasion.
Tax evasion. Can't have none
like
of those
Lauryn
stories.
Hill.
No, can't be no Lauryn Hill, honey. So I was down there first thing this morning working through that. And it's just like, it takes so much. Mm-hmm. And then on top of like what it takes just to be a human, just to maintain what you have going on, then you're bombarded with all of these other things that you should be feeling like you need to do something with.
Right. And some people do. I mean, some people have that in them to just devote their lives to other causes. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I'm just not. It's not my ministry.
I don't know if I want to devote my life to another cause, but it's more so like I just feel the weight of other people's like suffering and I think about like, damn, that's like messed up. Like little girl came and walked to school without being parents or friends and family have to worry about them getting snatched up and potentially sold into sex slavery. Mm-hmm. Like they're saying that in the United States they have, and I believe it, people with money will seek out certain situations. And I just feel like it's sad to think that even in this country, you wouldn't think of sex slavery would be in the United States, but it's in the United States alive and well.
Yeah, and then I was, to go back to that, I mean, I was reading something about, with sex slavery being international, the reason why it seems like there's an uptick in certain parts of the country is because with this administration and the immigration reform, a lot of the people who are snatching these girls are from overseas. So they're trying to hurry up and get what they need to get before they can't come and go and all that crazy stuff.
Wow.
I read an article about that yesterday.
I also read an article about how they said in the Hispanic Latino community, a lot of their people are not reporting sexual assaults out of fear of being deported. So there's been a decline in reporting of sexual assaults because people don't want to draw attention to themselves. So they may have been raped or abused, but they're not going to go report it because if they report it, they fear they might be deported.
That's sad.
It's just
no police here, man.
No police. But one thing I am excited about and happy about is that Donald Trump Care got blocked. Shut down.
And
it was so funny. The Republicans have the majority in Congress.
Yep.
I mean, the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Yep.
They have the White House.
Yep.
They have the majority of the governorships in this country. Mm-hmm. They run everything right now.
Apparently not.
Right. And they couldn't get it done.
And then, Trump to come out and be like, well, no, the Democrats. Bitch.
No, you had the votes.
Had nothing to do with
and
this.
You couldn't rally them. And everybody knows. You're supposed to be the deal closer, and you didn't close any deals. And he's been golfing every weekend since he's been president.
Yeah.
And he used to criticize Obama for going to golf when he should be in the White House doing work.
It's 12 times in 9 weeks or something ridiculous.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's going to, obviously, of course it is, going to different golf courses that he owns. Mm-hmm. It's that's a part of it too. It's like not just it's just all these stories and stuff. It's just the weight of Donald Trump's fat orange self on my spirit, on my TV. Like I just really, if I never saw him again, it would be too soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Him and his children.
Not the
all
kids.
of them. I want them all.
Kids.
I don't want to see them. I don't want nothing. I'm sorry. They just like, they represent to me what's everything that's wrong with the United States. And someone the other day, I was like, America is, I was talking to my friends. I was like, America is so much smarter than this. And they're like, actually, evidently not. They're like Donald Trump and the people who voted for him. I mean, like, is that the majority of this country?
I don't know. My thing is, I don't know.
Is the majority of this country just dumb?
I don't know if people knew exactly what they were getting into. Like the story about the woman who voted for Trump and then her husband ended up getting deported, or he's set to be deported.
Her husband of 20 years.
Who's been here for 20 years. Like, I don't think that she realized, the
ramifications.
Right. She was like, but
how do you not? Because like, how would you forget that your husband is a person that could be deported?
Well, the gotcha is like, she was like, I voted for him because of his strong stance on immigration, but I thought he was going to go after the bad guys because we don't want cartels and everything that's going on in Mexico to come here. That was her concern. Mm-hmm. She was like, the bad guys who we left are now here and we don't want them here. So I'm going to vote for Trump so he can keep the bad guys out.
Mm-mm. And she didn't know they were talking about you.
Gotcha, bitch. Because in Trump's eyes, your husband's a bad guy.
Right.
So
in Trump's eyes, anybody who's not white is a bad guy.
On that note.
That's what it is.
Okay.
It's nationalist. He has a very nationalist, very white national movement, and he has gathered all those people together.
Yeah.
And now they voted for him, and not knowing that he's going to take their health care away from them, their Medicaid, their Meals on Wheels.
Not the Meals on Wheels. That's what took me out. Like, not the Meals on Wheels.
It's absurd. As he's like spending like something crazy just to, how much it cost a year to protect $80 million.
It's ridiculous.
I think something crazy like tens of millions of dollars to protect the place in New York, his Trump Tower in New York. And then every time he goes to Mar-a-Lago, wherever you call it, in Florida, that's a huge expenditure too. One of those trips could probably continue the Meals on Wheels. If he just decided one weekend not to go down there, he could fund Meals on Wheels. He's going to take the senior citizens Meals on Wheels. Like, he's going to take the Meals on Wheels. Let's explain to what Meals on Wheels are.
Okay.
Meals on Wheels is a program for people who are basically at home and can't cook, or elderly, or veterans, or disabled, or whatever the case may be. They come and they drop you off a meal so you can eat.
Right.
Because otherwise, you might not eat.
Well, maybe it was supposed to help with the health. Maybe they were like, well, if we don't feed these people, then they'll die. Then they won't need health care. So then
it will work. And what's so crazy about it, the reason why they want to change health care so badly, or to cut back on health care so badly, is so that the richest people can get a tax break.
Yeah. Yep.
So how is that draining the swamp? He was saying we're going to drain the swamp. Like, he literally built a whole, like, he extended the swamp. The swamp now is like,
in the White House.
It's in the White House.
It's the world we live in, man.
It's just like, and then, just blame everything on Democrats, or just muddy
it's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah. Or
always.
Muddy the water so much that you don't even focus on the facts. Just muddy it. And meanwhile, the whole agenda is to just keep people in the classes that they are. They want the people who are rich to stay rich, and the people who are poor to stay poor.
Yep.
And people are not seeing that because they're getting caught up in these, in
the bullshit,
the racial issues, the religious issues, the nationalist issues. But that's not really what it's about. What it's about is money.
Right.
Like, they want to get wealthier, and they want the people who are poor to get poorer and die without health insurance. It's shocking.
Okay, this is getting depressing.
It is. Let's get off this. Let's get on the topics from lovebscott.com. The biggest. I know.
I felt it.
You felt it?
I felt it.
Indigestion. Donald Trump gives me indigestion.
What?
Indigestion.
Oh, okay.
Is that how I'm pronouncing it wrong? Is it indigestion? Indigestion? Indigestion. You can't say it either. Shut your ass up.
I said it.
You said it. Some of you got indigestion. In the who? In the who? In the what?
In the what?
Speaking of in the what, Iggy Azalea is back with Mo Bounce.
Did you watch the
I did. I liked it.
I'm probably in the... Go ahead.
Okay. Let me say this. If we can put up with, like, Nicki Minaj's music, we can put up with Iggy's music. And Iggy's butt looks so much better than Nicki Minaj.
It was moving.
That booty moves like
moving.
A real booty.
It was moving.
That when she was on that thing and that booty was
just that one cheek.
That one cheek was going up and down. That's a good butt job. That means the fat or whatever it is moving in unison.
There's some physics involved.
It's like whatever it is convincing. It hasn't dropped. It hasn't flopped. It hasn't rolled around and inverted itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
still...
It's nice.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like if we can put up with the type of music that Nicki Minaj releases, which is the same type of music that Iggy releases, the only difference is one is black and one is white,
right.
Then what's the problem?
You know, I think I'm one of the few people who I don't mind Iggy. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I think that now she's no longer making quote unquote rap hip hop music for the rap hip hop audience. I think she tried to do that. The audience wasn't having it. So now she's making party rap.
Yeah.
She's doing LMFAO type.
And she's huge. And she's going to be huge.
Get your money.
Get your money. Get all the coins. And also while you at it, get a man that appreciates you.
Right. And if you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Exactly.
Like, it's really not difficult.
But I just don't see how people can be so hard on her, but meanwhile support Nicki Minaj. And to me, music is the same.
Well, I think a lot of
the music is gimmicky. It's the same type of, it's repetitive.
It is.
You know,
Well, I think a lot of Iggy's hate came from her online responses to like a bunch of different things. Mm-hmm. And that just comes from her just not being
mature.
Mature. She is young and just being fully educated in, hip hop as it pertains to culture, not just as it pertains to music.
Yeah.
But once she got that, cool.
She strikes me as now it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to release this music, make my coins, and live my life.
Video and
she did exactly what she needs to do. She knows what she needs to do. Just like Nicki Minaj did Anaconda, twerking and throwing that big old ass all around. Yeah. That's what... I mean, if you go and get the booty, then you got to put it to use.
Right.
You got to do something with it. But I just like the fact that, like, I could see with Iggy's butt, it moved. It was like, it looked like...
Yeah, it had ripples.
It had ripple. It was like, I was like, wow. Yeah. I was fascinated.
I wouldn't go that far.
I was like, wow, that booty's moving like that. And she just did a little, and it was like a waterbed. You know how waterbed, you sit on one part and it goes up.
Oh my God, I haven't seen a waterbed in ages.
I used to have a waterbed.
My mom used to have one.
She did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
That's all I remember.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want a waterbed?
Hell no.
Okay.
They get all warm. They're like,
they
hot.
do. And it's not good for your back either, because you just kind of
like roll over and you can't get out the bed, and it's like moving. You're like, no.
I slept on a waterbed for years, and then one day I was like, I can't do it no more. Get it out. Get it out.
I gotta like put the hose in the sink and fill the shit up every night. No, I'm okay.
No. It's a lot. You know what I've noticed too? We had two big stories on lovebscott.com this week.
Which one?
About marriage and people wanting money.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into those.
So on one hand, we have Kendu.
Kendu.
I wonder, is he...
His name is Martin.
His name is Martin?
Martin Kendu Isaacs.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, I was like, is that something?
His name Martin.
Okay. So anyway, Kendu, Mary J. Blige's... Well, they're going through a divorce right now. They're going through a divorce, and he wants $110,000 a month in spousal support, plus an additional $10,000 for his parents and his kids,
right?
Because they don't have any kids together. So total, he wants $120,000 per month from Mary J. Blige. Blige. Okay. I don't want to fully go into this without then going over here.
Okay. Let's pivot.
So then the other story is Mike Epps and his wife, Michelle. Is it Michelle or
Michelle?
Michelle.
Well, it's Michelle with an E, so pronounce Michelle.
The way people be spelling things all different type of ways. So anyway, so Michelle, she wants $109,000 a month in spousal support and claims she's too old to get a job. She's 36. So...
Let's break it down.
But my thing is, so what I'm trying to say is, I feel that sometimes, and not even sometimes, a lot of times, there's a double standard when it comes to men asking women for money in a marriage, as opposed to when women ask men for money in a marriage. And on the B. Scott Show, we're going to keep it real. I feel like, in my personal opinion, even though I feel like both of these amounts, they both tried it. Both of these amounts are too high.
Right.
But if we are going to be giving spousal support to women on a regular basis who make less money than their more affluent husbands, then the same logic should apply when it comes to men who are asking for money from their more affluent wives.
I agree.
But it doesn't come across, it doesn't, and I know in our fan base, they go in. Anytime they see a man asking a woman who makes more money than him for money, they go in on him. Like, you a punk, you ain't got no money, you tried it, you a deadbeat, you ain't no type of man. But I don't see that same type of going in on people when it's the woman asking for money.
Yes, girl, get your money.
Get your money,
get
honey.
Your coins.
Go all the way to the bank, get that Birkin bag.
So, I mean, here's where Kendu has me fucked up, because I get spousal support. That makes perfect sense. But he's asking for the money that he was making as her manager, too. So when he was with her and he was employed by her, he was getting $46,000 a month. But he's no longer employed. They're not married. So you can't, anybody, I don't think it's right. You can't go back to your former employer and be like, you still got to give me money, even though I got fired. Like, you can't get that same money. You can get some money.
Right.
But you ain't going to make the manager money because you're no longer a manager.
He wants double what he made as a manager. Because he made $46,000. He's asking for $110,000.
Well, that's, in addition to
his lifestyle.
And then they had a prenup. That's the other thing.
Oh, I didn't know they had a prenup.
They had a prenup that he signed.
Okay.
But he wants it invalidated because he feels like he didn't understand what he was getting himself into at the time. Because that was before, her career and the manager. And he's like, it don't matter.
Yeah. See,
So Kendu's on the bullshit.
Also, he is on the bullshit, but also I would advise anybody about this is if I'm in a relationship with somebody, and I've always been this way before I was B. Scott, and I had, dated some wealthy men, or whatever the case may be. And I was always a firm believer in $1 for you, $1 for me.
Right.
I spend your dollar, but my dollar's in the bank.
Okay.
In a separate savings account that tucked away, that when it does come around that I have to leave or we no longer, because let's face it, most relationships will end at some point. Right. No matter who you are. Look at any relationship out there. They will at some point get a divorce, break up, be estranged, whatever the case may be. So when you get in relationships and you know what time it is, you know that one person is making more money than the other, you should plan for the future. You shouldn't wait. I didn't know I'm in love and I didn't think about these things. No, you want to think about it after you're done. You need to think about it as you're going through.
Right.
Even if it's like $1 for you, $2 for me. Like, we got to figure it out.
I like that one better.
$1 for you, $2 for me. So maybe it's like, because maybe it's like
you can keep the dollar, but then
$1 to spend in the relationship, but then the other $1 to save.
So it's equal.
Yes,
in the relationship,
for sure.
Right.
Like, I don't get it.
I don't either.
They need to talk to Cassie, because Cassie,
Mama's paid.
Mama's paid. From what I understand, she's paid. She got her own coins, her own house, her own situation. She's good. When a rainy day comes, she's prepared. I'm not mad at that. What was her song? She had a song said, if they knew
what I had saved, attitudes might
change. Right. If you knew what I had saved, attitudes might change. When you're in a relationship with somebody and the relationship ends and you ain't got nothing to show for it, that's your fault.
Your own fault.
That's your own damn fault. Because you signed the prenup, you didn't save no money during the course of it. I would have, and people got to do smart things. Like, you got to be like, if you're dating somebody or you're in a relationship with somebody and they have all this money or whatever the case may be, and they have all the assets in their names or whatever, or joint assets, whatever, you need to ask them, hey, I want to start this new business venture. I want to invest in this property. Can you put money towards it? And it's mine.
Right.
Mine.
And do it while it's good.
God,
so
it's
that
good.
way it's not an issue.
Good. Why you?
Okay, baby.
Yes.
Sure.
Good while you having that good sex. Ow,
Right.
ow, ow,
Get it.
ow, ow, ow. Sign right here. Ow, ow, ow,
No,
ow.
sign
Sign right
right
here.
here.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't understand some of these cases
I don't
because
either.
I don't get it.
Don't get it.
I don't get it. And I'm definitely keeping that in mind as I, date different people and parlay and, people try to come after my coins. I don't think I'm ever going to get married because, I think I'm going to be one of them old folks. Remember back in the day, we were like, this person's a friend.
It's my roommate.
This is my roommate. Yeah. I'm going to be that person. This person's my roommate because I worked hard for the money I have. And I'll be damned if some person just comes in for the last little part of the hustle. You coming in on the good part.
Right. Well, it took RuPaul 23 years to finally get married. So,
yes. That's true. Speaking of RuPaul, I'm so proud of him because now the show is on VH1. Yes. RuPaul's Drag Race is now on VH1. That's huge. Not to mention, I think he had a talk show on VH1 in 1996.
Well, VH1 logo, all the same.
Viacom.
And I think Logo may not be doing so hot.
I think Logo's on its way out.
So they were like, cool, let's just go ahead and move this to this table.
Yeah.
So when this one kind of collapses.
Yeah. Logo's going to be renamed shortly. It is. It's like, and I think something has happened to Oxygen. Is Oxygen still around? I think
no,
that's
Oxygen is now fucking crime shows or something
crime
like
network.
That. Yeah.
Things are going left.
That's it. Yeah.
I've been hearing some rumblings about Revolt too. We didn't run it on the site.
Yeah.
But we did hear some, on the B. Scott Show, the podcast, we will also be talking about things we hear that,
we can't quite put it to print.
We can't put it to print. We ain't gonna put it like out there. But when I hear little nuggets and as it connects to other things like we were talking about already about Oxygen and what was the other thing we were talking about? And Logo. So we're hearing that Revolt is not doing too well. And I have to be honest, I haven't never seen Revolt a day in my life. So what channel is it? Because when I have Time Warner, that's now Spectrum, there is no Revolt channel. Not that I have seen.
DirecTV, I couldn't tell you what it is.
And I have the biggest package possible.
Right.
They damn near charge me $1,000 a month. So I have I get every possible channel. I have never randomly strolled through the channels and saw Revolt.
I don't know what shows they have.
They're not in the hotels. When you're on hotels, you don't see them. They're not in the gas stations. So, sometimes you pumping gas.
And they got the little TVs with the commercials.
Where is Revolt? So I'm like, was it never a network to begin with?
I think Comcast, they had a channel deal, but it's primarily online because they couldn't get it, I don't think, where they wanted it to go.
I hope Diddy didn't invest his own money in that. I hope he did just use their money, and if it goes left, Diddy's smart.
Well, now they're getting sued, so.
Oh, that
Revolt,
discrimination lawsuit, the reverse discrimination,
reverse racism,
reverse
quote,
racism. Unquote. Do we believe that exists?
If you look at it in the definition of racism, it can exist just because racism involves a majority and a minority, and black people will never be a majority. At least right now.
I don't think it has. Racism is not about majority and minority. It's about race. You get what I'm saying? So how we understand it is about the majority and minority, but racism is when you discriminate against another person based on their ethnic group, skin color, something like that.
So the way that the Twitter academics like to differentiate it is
these damn Twitter academics.
That's prejudice, what you're talking about. Racism involves the systematic discrimination. Systematic. Anyway, it's in the,
You remember
what I mean.
You remember that time when
I can't talk today.
Those Twitter activists tried to come for me when I came for them on
when
Twitter.
You called them bleak?
Call them bleak. Oh, God.
That was a crazy night.
It really was crazy because it's funny because I just feel like, and even now, I don't think they're bleak. I just think that there are a lot of false prophets out there.
Well, some got arrested.
Some got arrested.
Some, the ones
who misallocated funds. The ones I was talking about.
The ones we're talking about are now in jail.
In jail.
Or not in, are they in, yeah, they're
or just,
going through something.
Or lost respect. And I just felt like you have to be careful who you listen to. You have to be careful who you elevate, who you raise up, because a lot of these people that I have seen, were just doing it for attention. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the credentials. They jumped on the bandwagon.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they wanted the attention. Like, they used the movement
to further their own personal brand agenda,
or give them purpose, or to have awareness. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy now that it's getting back to actually people who deserve it.
Right.
People who have spent their lives as activists, people who have actually are real red, mm-hmm. and, you know, actually do things in the community. Because so many people were saying, like, the people that they saw on social media and on television were not the people in the communities doing the work.
Right.
And that's basically what I was saying all those years ago when I said that. But it just tickled me to think about the people try to come from my neck.
They did.
They try to come from my whole...
They did.
My whole... everything.
Fuck B. Scott.
Fuck B. Scott.
And that's why we supported you when you were going through your stuff.
Your stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I bet you like the activists when you were having your BET lawsuit and
that ain't got nothing to do with
They were doing
this.
Double Dutch. I mean, they go pop, 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 pop.
They wasted no time.
And I was unbothered. I didn't want to do nothing.
I think I was more upset than you were. I was, because I'm like, no. Damn it.
You take stuff...
I'm
more personally
very
sometimes than I do.
defensive when it comes to people that I care about. So when people come for people who are close to me, I get very, very upset.
Yeah.
So. And
then sometimes on social media too, and you're good at knowing this, sometimes it's like, it's better not even to fight the fight, because even though I was right and what I said and who I was talking about, mm-hmm. is sometimes when things are not expressed in the appropriate way, if you give certain type of people or the Twitter trolls a way in, they have the way in.
Right.
And they're going to keep going that way in because now they have someone of stature.
Right.
Because I actually, in comparison to the people I was talking about, I actually had been around for years. And so they love that when they can engage someone who actually does have some credit. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's like in some ways when they are having a beef with someone who actually has a reputation and a history, it gives them a credit line.
They're trying to pull you down to step up.
Or they must be somebody because I am going back and forth with a da-dunt. I ain't used that in a long time.
It's been a while.
A da-dunt. Mm-hmm. Speaking of da-dunt.
Who's da-dunt?
Phaedra.
Oh. Did you watch last night?
I did watch last night. But I mean, we're not talking about, let's talk about last night after we talk about the fact that the judge tossed out Phaedra Parks' divorce settlement or agreement with Apollo. Because Shada. That's a good one. Shada.
We got to put the dra back in there.
Shadra had misspelled the names.
Multiple times
in the document.
The whole document.
What was the purpose of that, you think?
So Apollo's legal team, or whoever was handling it for his side, couldn't readily find the documents in the system.
Oh.
Right. So
that's dirty.
Mm-hmm, lowdown.
Oh, that's why. Mm-hmm. I never thought about that.
Yeah, because if you're not given a case number, which he wasn't, mm-hmm. then you can go in and search things by name, mm-hmm. plaintiff, defendant. But if your name's misspelled or however on both of them, mm-hmm. Phaedra, Naita, and Apollo, mm-hmm. Naita, nobody's searching for Naita.
I'm pretty sure that Apollo's perspective is, Phaedra, you're going to pay some of this restitution.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
That's what it's really coming down to. He's like, I done went out here and did these crimes. I went in jail. I'm in jail for the crimes that made money for us. Mm-hmm. And now you're trying to divorce me and keep our money. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And I know some of my fans love them some Phaedra.
I don't know why.
And okay, I get it, but the truth is the truth, and it shall set you free. And that's why Apollo was running around in that garage saying to her, I'll tear this house down because I built it.
Go away from me with this. That's my favorite.
But she knows what it is. She knows very well. And that's why I feel like even Phaedra's attitude on the show this season, she feels very unsure. Mm-hmm. It's something about it. It seems unauthentic
because she keeps getting caught out. She can't keep track of her bullshit.
Yeah,
it's gotten out of hand.
She
can't juggle it all anymore. It's too much.
And I feel like she needs to just go ahead and be herself. Mm-hmm. Like I think a part of who she is the woman that showed up at Cynthia's house in that bodysuit with that booty and everything hanging out. That's who she is.
Yeah. Swimsuit Phaedra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think it's very interesting and telling that every legal situation that comes up on the show, she has to go out to source it out to another attorney.
Every time.
So what is your law degree in? I mean, what exactly type of law do you practice?
What did Nene say? Win a case.
Win a case.
Was that Nene? No.
Yeah, Nene need to say that. That's why we need Nene back. But I'm just saying, like, every time a legal situation happens on the show, she has to source it out to somebody else. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, what can you...
And furthermore, how is Phaedra about this recent one with Kandi and her former employer and gonna say, I don't want anything to do with this. It's nothing to me. I'm not in it. But then you're going to take the guy to your friend and then sit there and take notes in the meeting.
And push forward and have little comments about it.
And I get that she has to be there to film because they're not going to film that guy and the other guy without her. I get that. But you ain't got to be so damn involved if you're not involved.
And I did see Kandi on the Watch What Happens Live.
She looked so good last night.
She looked so good on the show, but she responded to what the guy was saying. Her response... And I love Kandi, but her response, how she responded to it, made me feel like there is some truth to what he has said.
Right.
In my opinion.
So I
can tell. You can tell when people tone of voice changes. And Kandi is normally so matter of fact about stuff. She could have been like, "No, we never discussed that with him. He didn't help us with that. We never talked to him about the restaurant." Blah blah blah. She didn't say that.
Right.
She just said, this is my story. It's about mother's love. It's about my mother, my life. But that still doesn't negate the fact that he could have came up with the idea
for you
that
to do it in the first place.
That was based off your life.
Exactly.
So I can read between the lines.
So it depends on the argument being presented. And same with the restaurant. You might not have said, let's do a restaurant with Aunt Bertha and Aunt Nora. But he could have easily said, hey, you know what? Mm-hmm. We should do a restaurant, a soul food restaurant.
What happens is, and a lot of times with businesses, and I understand it. Someone comes or you around somebody and you discussing ideas. And then Kandi's the one with the money. Mm-hmm. And every equation that pertains to anybody working with her, Kandi's the one with the money. So the one with the money starts thinking like, even though you had the good idea, I'm the one that's going to be financing all of this. So why do I want to be business partners with you on something I have to pay for?
And can do it better. And can execute.
Yeah. So you brought it to the table. But then I just took it to a whole nother level because I have the money and I don't have to split this money that I'm making off this new investment with you.
Right.
So, I mean, but at the end of the day, that is something that I feel like these situations can be worked out had they talked to each other. Mm-hmm. Because I could tell on the show when Kandi was on Watch What Happens Live last night and she responded the way she did, it made me feel how she responded. I was listening to her and you got to watch their behavior, their body language and everything. I felt like how she approached it, because she's so matter of fact about everything else. She wasn't matter of fact about that.
No.
You gave us a Phaedra response. She gave us a Phaedra response to that situation.
Yeah.
Which is very much so, I'm going to take the truth that I have and I'm going to focus on that and not go straight after the fact that, well, I don't know them. I don't know him. He never brought any of this. She didn't say that. Had she said, no, we did not have any type of discussions about the play. There was no discussions whatsoever about the play and neither about the restaurant. She didn't say that.
Probably because she can't.
She can't.
Because Kandi is not a liar. So she'll tell you the truth.
Yeah. But all of these housewives have an agenda. They all have an agenda. They all have a thing. And there's some truth in these situations. You know, all of it just... there's not one person is telling the whole soul truth.
Nah.
That's how I feel about that.
What else we got?
That's what I feel about that. That was amazing.
That was.
It had a little country twang to it. That's what I feel about that.
So funny. I've been listening to country music all day today.
Yeah, because you've been feeling yourself from these beats you've been dropping secretly.
Country beats.
Yeah, you've been dropping beats secretly. Nah. I'm going to show up at the damn studio and set it off.
You should.
I'm going to come in there and you got something that belongs to me. Deborah, get your shit. We got to go.
You're going to have a Nia Long moment.
Oh, Nia Long. I don't know if I believe this story about Nia Long or not, but it's been so many stories about it going back to back that it's
So
it's starting to make me believe there's some truth to it.
At first, I didn't. At first, I was like,
What is the story? Tell us the story first.
Long story short, Nia Long is a diva, and she's being rude to people on the set of Empire, and her and Taraji don't see it for each other anymore. So when it first came out, I was like, this is just Lee Daniels' dumbass putting drama out to rebuild attention for Empire. But then the second story came, and they were like, the hair and makeup people filed an official complaint. And then more details came about what happened on set. And so now, it might be true. It might be.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past either of them to be beefing with each other. But I feel as though because there's been so many stories about this running consecutively about this, it gives me where there's smoke, there has to be some type of fire. People don't make up miscellaneous rumors about celebrities. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, unless it was some truth to it, like this whole, I don't know where it would come from.
So I think that it probably did happen when they were filming months ago. Yeah. But then whoever's over there on Empire was like, cool, so we have the premiere going. Let's just go ahead and give all of this to the powers that be now.
Yeah. So supposedly, Taraji made a color people time joke to Nia.
Because she was late.
And she didn't like it. And so she filed a complaint.
Wait, I'm telling that wrong. That's not what happened. So Nia was late. A guy on the set made the color people time joke because she was late. And Nia went off on the guy. And Taraji was like, what are you? You on your period? Is it that time of the month? Why are you acting this way?
Okay.
And so then Nia was like, oh, hold on, bitch. And then it became a thing.
And I'm sure Taraji's like, oh, wait a minute, bitch.
You on my show.
And y'all they be two bitches bitching. Right. Help us, Lord. Help us.
Yeah, the timing is very suspect to me, but they probably did have a moment.
Speaking of another person that feels disrespected.
Who?
Trey Songz. Feels disrespected by Nicki Minaj.
Oh, Trey.
Nicki Minaj.
I used to really like Trey Songz.
You did?
And now I don't. What?
I was like, it feels a little hot in here.
Oh, is it?
Talking about people being disrespected.
Getting hot?
Yeah, hot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Trey Songz now. I'm starting to feel about Trey Songz like I feel about Jason Derulo.
Who?
Jason Derulo. I'm becoming indifferent about Trey.
You know something funny about Jason Derulo? Sorry, I hate to bring it back here, but
other than that hairdo that he had in his latest video.
Well, there's number one.
What was that?
Number two, I don't know, but one of the songwriters I'm working with has had sessions at his studio in his house, and apparently he has his own music playing on a loop. Like from the moment you walk into his house and walk into the studio. And, what are you doing? He's over here messing with the fan, not listening to my...
Because I have this is a heat sensation that's rising from my crotch area.
I'm going to get that checked out.
I have a fire crotch right now.
Oh my God.
Remember Lindsay Lohan? Who did she call a fire crotch? Or did someone call her?
Somebody called her a fire crotch.
No. Oh yeah, Paris Hilton called Lindsay Lohan a fire crotch.
I couldn't tell you who it was.
Okay. Because I felt like I was turning into a fire crotch. Damn. So I can't let my crotch catch on fire, literally. Okay. And start, it might be a fire hazard.
Well, I didn't tell my story. And that's not one of the stories I can tell again. It's not really going to hold the same weight, so we'll just move on.
It's kind of like how we feel about Trey Songz. We really don't care. We don't care about that story, and we don't care about Trey Songz. But he was on the list to talk about.
But I feel like this is like the one time I feel like I almost need to come to Nicki's defense, because he said on The Breakfast Club that she didn't really have shit before Bottoms Up.
Oh, wow.
And, I feel like that's
Don't
a lie.
Don't do it. Yeah, that's a lie.
That's a lie. She had Bedrock. She had Up At My Face. Well, she had My Chick Bad. She had Lil Freak.
Yeah.
These are all features in 2009. Before
But I think that was just in part from her saying to him that she gave him 4 plaques or some whatever, platinum plaques or whatever the case may be, or he wouldn't have any type of hit records if it wasn't for her. They both were posturing. And in my opinion, they both should shut the hell up.
Okay, well, moving on.
You know what I mean? I feel like, and the whole situation, I feel, it's like a lot of that whole...
It's stupid.
It's stupid. And then I recently saw a video of Remy Ma She was talking about how when people come to her page, she's going to block them.
I will block you.
I will block you. And not only will I block you, I will block the people who like the comment that I blocked. How can you even, you see?
You have way too much time.
But what I'm saying, but how can you see? That was fascinating to me because I was like, can you see the people who liked the comment?
You can now on Instagram.
You can.
Yeah, there's like a like section for each individual comment, so people can like your comments.
So you can see, it all comes up in the main liking area?
No, so when you go to, like, I'll go to yours, and you go to people who have liked everything, and you tap on likes.
So she would go in and block all those people who liked the comment and then block that person. Wow, that's deep.
So match your comments, 3 likes. Yeah, boom.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's what she was talking about. See, she's up on it. Because I didn't even know they had that feature until she said
That's what happens when you don't have anything but time.
I don't have time for that.
Remy does.
We would have to talk to our Instagram manager. Like, okay,
does this work?
How does this work? Can you also block the people? I was like, oh my goodness.
It's not even
we do have we have a zero tolerance policy on the Love B. Scott platform for disrespect to the queen.
I think we talked about that last time, I think.
When you disrespect the queen, can't disrespect the queen, you can't be disrespectful too much about
people
and what we do.
Yeah.
That's a way to go about everything. You don't have to be nasty. To me, you can be nasty to other people, but you can't be nasty to me or to the brand and think that you're gonna, thrive.
I also block the people who decide to copy and paste the post from the website into the comment on Facebook.
Right.
So their little comment will just go viral.
And then people won't have to click on our post to read the story because it's our like you're affecting my money. When you do that, you're affecting the money. We get paid from when you click over to the site.
Right.
So click your ass over to the site so we can keep this going.
Yeah, she stopped my bag.
My bag. When she comes after my bag, she said she stopped my bag.
So I don't know what she
stopped
said.
My bag. You can't. When you don't click on the website, you are, interfering with my bag, with my coins.
God, I hate that phrase.
With my money, my coins and dollars. Yes, Queen, holla. The Say What Now of the week. Say What Now comes from Florida. It's always coming from Florida. Florida is a hot spot for Say What Nows.
Well, this lady decided that
she's going to get drunk.
She's going to get drunk and tell the police that her daughter was kidnapped. But in reality, she got too drunk and forgot where she was. 6-year-old.
Just left that baby.
Don't know. But I mean, they found her. The baby was fine. But I'm like, how do you get drunk and lose a whole baby?
Whole baby.
Like a whole baby.
And did we talk about a story? There was another story where a woman lied and said these black men raped her or kidnapped her.
19-year-old.
Or something. They're always lying on the black men.
Well.
Because it's believable, I guess. It's just like, somebody just...
Yeah.
But she's going to jail.
She's going to jail.
She's going to jail because she lied and said that these 3 black men...
raped her.
My God.
Well, shout out to the police for doing their job and actually investigating her claims and not just taking her word for it. So, shout out to the police responsible for that.
And shout out to...
Samira Wiley and her wife, Lauren. They got married. And they looked incredible.
You like how I did that? I pointed to it because I was like, I'm going to have a problem pronouncing his name.
That's why I just went ahead and went straight into it.
I was like, Samira was her name, so Sam what? Samira Wiley and her wife, Lauren.
And their story is incredible.
It is beautiful.
It's incredible. So for those of you who don't know, Lauren Morelli, she was a writer on Orange is the New Black. And while writing in 2014, she discovered that she was a lesbian. So she divorced her husband. It was very amicable. Yeah. And then she started dating Samira, who plays Poussey on the
show. You can't make that up. Wait a minute, she plays Poussey? Because I don't really watch Orange is the New. I think I tried, but then long story short, I don't really watch it. But Poussey is her name on the show?
Yeah, so Lauren fell in love with Poussey.
I'm sorry, but sometimes you gotta laugh. Right. A lesbian couple who got married and her character's Poussey.
No, Lauren literally fell in love with the Poussey.
With the Poussey.
And they got engaged in October of last year, and they got married over the weekend. So, shout out to that.
Oh my goodness, this is such a great way to end the show, is on the Poussey. Thank you, Love Muffin, so much for listening to the B. Scott Show. Woo. And please go to iTunes and subscribe and rate and review. And until next time, double kisses. Mwah, mwah. Bye-bye.
Bye. You're right, it is hot.
Poussey. Thank you so much for listening to The B. Scott Show. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Love B. Scott. And make sure you review the show on iTunes. And you can always find me on lovebscott.com.